three significant developments, I think, today. Number one, the adjustment in the track, taking the storm potentially a little farther west. Number two, the forecast from the Hurricane Center calling for a Category 5 hurricane to make landfall in the Keys and a Category 4 to make a second landfall in southwestern Florida. And then tonight, perhaps one of the more interesting developments is the fact that the storm is still moving west and is getting extremely close, if not on top of, as you can see, the coast of Cuba. There's the eye of the storm. That eye, by the way, was 40 miles wide at one point today. They're reporting winds about 163. So if that all verifies, we could be dealing with a Category 5 hurricane once again. And in any event, it's very close. This may be the more interesting element to me right now, the fact that it continues moving west, and on that track, the center is going to move right over land. Power outages with all that wind we're getting tomorrow, the rain squalls, they seem inevitable, and some of them will be severe. Florida Power tonight estimating millions of people may lose power. And it may be quite some time before that power comes back. So again, the headlines, forecasters calling for the storm to be a 5 when it makes landfall near Key West, and watching for the next few hours to see if we get some significant land interaction as Irma's core gets closer to the north coast.
You can see sea surface temperatures are plenty hot, 89 degrees as it approaches the Keys right now, and will continue to be right around that area. So we're looking for whatever happens. If it bumps into Cuba and weakens just a little bit, it's got to go north, right? So we're looking for re-strengthening because that water temperature is just so warm. gusts to 110. Storm surge 5 to 10 feet, and also 8 to 12 inches of rain possible across Palm Beach County. Everyone in South Florida and the Treasure Coast will see an impact of Irma as we go through the next 24 to 36 hours.
You spoke to some of the people that have decided to stay in Miami, and you just pointed out the fact that while this storm makes landfall, when it eventually does on the mainland, rescuers will not be able to get to them.
Miami Beach dealing with some dangerous conditions thanks to Irma.
Really kind of mind-blowing to see how much water is pulled away and then moved to different portions. And if you've seen some of those photos, it means that water's on the way. That wall of water is still moving somewhere.
In Miami Beach right now, we have trees, branches all over the roads, down power lines, but overall, there's not much physical damage to the city. Thank God. We are very, very fortunate. We evacuated our city way in advance, and recovery efforts start early in the morning. As you know, we've had flooding problems in the past. We've installed pumps, generators, raised our roads, and we found that we did very well. We did not flood very much. Our pumps performed. We were very, very happy. And, of course, now I'm watching carefully and concerned about the communities on the western coast of Florida.
Yeah, and, you know, our reporters on the ground talking about a lot of fallen glass and debris that's out in the roads and elsewhere. That's obviously got to be a big concern to you and a huge part of the cleanup, I'm sure. What's your reaction to that?
Well, the most important thing right now for us is to get our roads cleaned up for the residents and the visitors and get back to living life. And we're going to take tomorrow. We begin early in the morning, and unfortunately, we got to kind of keep the city isolated before we let people back into their homes, so we can make sure it's safe for everybody. We've had gas leaks, power lines that are down, and the most important thing is the safety of our residents.
And so what are you telling them in terms of the curfew, when to come out, what to do?
Well, tonight we had a curfew at 8 o'clock. We plan to have that curfew again tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the evening. We don't want to see any looting, and we want to make sure our residents are 100% safe. As you know, there's power outages everywhere. So you combine power outages with downed trees, and driving conditions will be very, very rough until we get this cleaned out. Listen, we're very, very lucky as a community. I mean, we didn't get hit as hard as we could have. It wasn't a direct hit. Clearly, we have a lot of debris on the streets, but it's going to require patience. It's going to require tolerance. And I think a lot of thankfulness and the fact that we are in the condition we're in and that we're going to be able to rebuild our city probably a heck of a lot faster than we would have if it's been a direct hit from Irma.